Golden from Furious Photog. What I want to do in this video is take another model and extract him from the background, but this time, instead of doing something in a studio, we're going to do an outdoor location that has a little bit more of a complex background. This model is Cody Jonvin, and he is positioned outside where we've got a little mix of brick on the left, and on the right we've got greenery. So this should be a little more difficult than in studio, but if you've got all your ducks in a row, this should be an easy extraction. So let's get started. I'll do some hints along the way. So to begin, duplicate the layer so we're non-destructive on the original photo. That is Control J or Command J, depending on if you're on a PC or a Mac. From there, we are going to click on the quick selection tool and then select subject. This will automate the process. Again, you can use the tool itself to manually paint, which will highlight big areas of the subject for you as you go, but this just automates the process if you have the button as a feature in your latest edition of Photoshop. Now, as you can see, it did a pretty good job of cutting him out. Now we can refine the mask by using the plus and the minus tools. We are taking things away, so we are going to use the minus option. And while this is going, I will talk to you a little bit about what you can do in order to improve the results here. Now, you can extract models from virtually any background fairly easily. However, the more complicated it is, let's say a chain link fence or really intricate tile work, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to get this done, especially for the tool like this. There's other methods you probably would want to employ there, like a pen tool or other things like that. But for this particular session, what we tried to do is make sure that the background is, again, highly contrasted to the foreground. Now, in a studio, you would have that as color changes. For example, you'd have skin tones against the black background or gray background or white. But here, for example, we are shooting outdoors, but we have separated the subject from the background by means of blurring. So as you can see, by using a focal length that allowed the bokeh effect to happen in the background on both the left and the right, see those bricks are blurry, but the subject is clear. Same thing with the trees on the right. That helped separate him from the background. He's clear, that's blurry. It's a good distinction. Full. Now that that is done, I am going to go click on the layer mask icon, which will do that. I'm going to fill the background in with black so we can see the results of that. And as you can see, there are a few places that still need adjustment. So what you can do after you double click the layer mask, you want to go again, smart radius, start off with a value of 10. From there you can adjust if need be to other things. And that just helps streamline those edges. Now, from there, what we can do is use the refinement brush to paint hair and other sections so we can bring out the detail. It's going to be picking up some of that brick because that area is not as contrasted as, say, black on white. So it will cause a little bit of artifacting here. Same with the forearms is why you have these little bits of color that are working their way through. It's the favorite part of everybody, isn't it? This V-line. That said, that looks pretty good as it is, but what we're going to do is take the brush here, the hard brush, and actually paint away those areas. It's defaulted on plus, so I'm going to hit Option or Alt, which will help us paint away those particular areas so we get a little more of a clean line for separation. Now I'm doing this fairly quickly, but depending on your project, you can take as much time as you want to in order to get the result that best fits. This is just for illustrative purposes only, so it is sped up a little bit. There we go. I believe we've got most everything. Oh, a hint. Oh, right here says a little bit of an issue. A hint for corners like this one's fairly okay, but if you've got a lot of green there, what I recommend doing is actually taking away area and then building that area back in, which will let you better refine the mask in those particular areas so you can have a fine corner. Again, the tool does not like corners, so fingertips, things like that, or gaps between fingers are an issue. So that said, what we want to do, since we were on a colored background, is get rid of the fringe. So decontaminate colors is checked, and that will help decontaminate the edges from getting stray color. And voila, as you can see, that looks pretty damn good. So this was before, and this is now. As you can see, there is a little bit of a color cast on this image. This is a final edit that I had done. So what we want to do is remove the particular color effect that I added, which was purple. Little secret here, selective color. That allows you to change particular color values depending on different colors that are selected. Now for blacks, which is what I use for shadows, I have added a little bit of a purple tinge. That's kind of that furious effect. What you want to do here is actually add yellow back in. If you can think of the color wheel, you want to add or subtract the opposite or complementary color. So for yellow, that's purple. So what we want to do is add that back in, and voila, just after one click, we've managed to change it before and after. We've corrected that color. So what I'm going to do here, just to finalize an effect, is actually to use a gradient tool. Make sure it's defaulted by pressing D to black and white. I'm going to make white the foreground, black the background using a Redo blur, and we're just going to click and drag, and voila, we have got Cody Jonvin separated from the background. So this was before, and this is now. Wonderful. I hope that helps answer questions on how, again, to use the quick select tool to isolate subjects from the background. Again, you may have to use other options and other tools in the kit in order to finalize your project, but this is the most efficient manner that I've got to extract people from the background for composites and for book covers, etc. Because what you're going to ultimately do there is add effects, add color gradients and things like that to help blend the model into the background. But that said, there you go. Please follow me online at Furious Photog on Facebook, Instagram the same, and One Furious Photog on Twitter. I appreciate the time and the support, and hopefully you'll have a great day. We'll see you next time.